Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Finley from ENT 645 and this is my extended elevator pitch for Profin. Profin is a business idea that I have for a luxury yarn brand in Colorado. Quality, ethics, and sustainability are the defining attributes of the brand. I'd like to open a storefront that offers high quality yarns, patterns, and supplies that appeal to the modern knitter. All the products we'd carry would be locally sourced. Additionally, I'd like to offer a variety of classes for all skill levels. I think this would be a great way to encourage customer engagement while showing people that the business is very welcoming and community oriented. And for those looking to get started with their own businesses, I'd offer master classes that teach how to stand up an Etsy business and successfully market that business with social media and SEO. At Profin, we truly believe that everyone can actually make a difference. Our slogan is, "Shop with your heart here at home." So looking at the problem, back in 2014, I started out selling handmade knitwear pieces and accessories on Etsy. The yarn that I used for this business was a very popular mass-produced brand. It was cheap and easily accessible. It was also the perfect texture and bulky weight that allowed me to create these super chunky pieces that really appealed to my customers. But a few years into this, I started to become more aware of some of the problems within the textile industry, with particular regard to fast fashion. I started being more thoughtful with my purchases and really gravitating more towards the ethical and sustainable fashion brands. This eventually sparked more questions about some of the other products that I was purchasing. And of course, I eventually asked the question, where does this yarn that I use for the products that I'm selling actually come from? This was sort of my light bulb moment where I was able to identify a potential problem. To better define the problem, I began digging a little deeper and learned that most mass-produced yarn brands are not very transparent regarding where their wool is sourced or how their animals are treated. Also, the synthetics found in these yarns, such as acrylic, polyester, and nylon, are petroleum-based and don't break down. The dyeing process is also problematic. One of the things that I really loved about the brand that I was using was the large color selection. But unfortunately, the synthetic dyes used on these yarns contain heavy metals and hazardous chemicals that pollute water supplies. Oftentimes overseas, the wastewater from the dyeing process is simply dumped right into the water supply, which is very dangerous for human health, and it leaves a tremendous footprint as well. Aside from some of the environmental and ethical concerns, another major problem with purchasing these brands is the complete lack of support for local and small business. To address the problems with mass-produced products, I'd want to create a product for people who really care about supporting local and ethical brands. Fortunately, Colorado has many amazing farmers and hand-spinning artisans to work with to source the type of product that I envision for my store. Our products would be 100% Colorado sourced, and they'd be hand spun by local artisans. We'd only use naturally based dyes, and we'd add no synthetics to our blends. By working closely with local farmers and artisans, I'm able to accomplish two very important things. First, I'm able to support other local businesses, which is very much in line with the values of my brand. And also, by getting so close and deeply involved in the production process, I'm able to alleviate the ethical and environmental concerns and ensure a higher quality product. The ideal client who would shop and support Pearlfin would be someone very similar to myself in terms of values and beliefs. I think in business you can have a really great product to offer that's in demand, but people aren't going to be naturally drawn to your brand if you yourself don't really value whatever it is that you're trying to offer. So for marketing purposes, I'd be targeting women in the age range 25 to 55. They'd be located in the Denver and surrounding areas within a 25-mile radius. And starting income would be $40,000. Again, these types of women are very conscious about the types of products they purchase. They really take their time and do their research on the products that they're interested in, as opposed to making a lot of fast, impulsive purchases. They also tend to be brand loyalists. A lot of this has to do with the fact that they're investing more into the businesses that they support. They're spending more time and more money to ensure they're getting the right products. So once they find a particular brand that delivers, they tend to be very loyal to that brand. In doing my research, I quickly learned that the market is extremely competitive. There are 3 other yarn shops in the area that I was targeting that offer very similar products to mine. Additionally, I would be competing with the big box stores as well. I learned that there's a portion of my ideal clients who, while they do tend to support local businesses, sometimes they'll go to the big box store simply out of convenience, or maybe they don't need a higher quality product depending on the project. So I did factor in some of the big box stores into my competition as well. So because the competition is so high, at a minimum, I would need to position my business maybe a little further from the downtown area and more into the suburbs of Denver. Another option that I've been looking into is to maybe try and find another market opening further south towards the Colorado Springs area. More research is needed, but the location that I choose is going to be absolutely critical. Also, if I were very serious about competing, I would need to bring something new to the market. One idea that I have, and I touched on this earlier, is to offer classes that teach how to become an Etsy seller and use social media for marketing. I think a lot of crafters would be really interested in this information, and it's something I could use to differentiate my business from the competition. But really, this is just a starting point. I'd really want to interact more with my ideal clients and really try and get to the heart of some of the problems and concerns in the market. Using this information, I could try and come up with something that was new and different to bring to the market, something of real value that would allow me to stand out in this really highly competitive market. To reach my ideal clients, I'd begin with marketing channels such as Google Ads and Facebook ads. I played around with my keywords using both of these and was able to get some really high reach numbers in the Denver and surrounding areas, which was great. I'd also use social media such as Instagram and Pinterest to drive traffic to my site. I found Pinterest in particular to be an extremely effective marketing tool for the types of products that I'd be selling. One thing that I like to do is to post a really nice collage of pictures offering free patterns that direct people back to my site. I think offering as much free content as possible is extremely important. Whether it's free patterns, inspiration, or even help or advice, this is a great way to build a good rapport and establish trust with the ideal client. Once I start getting some good traffic, I can begin to build relationships with my ideal clients and really start setting myself apart from the competition. Hopefully this will lead to very positive relationships that will allow me to keep my ideal clients and also encourage word of mouth marketing to attract new clients. I created this brochure and think it turned out really nice. It starts out with the tagline and then goes into some really important information about the products and how they're sourced and produced. I also introduced some new products that ideal clients might be interested in. And finally, I wanted to draw attention back to the site where people can go to find lots of inspiration and free patterns. Looking to the future, the very first thing I'd want to do is to make my products available online. I'd also want to continue to develop new classes and expand the product selection to keep people interested and invested in the business. When I was researching the competition, I learned a very common trend um, was for customers to complain of a lack of product selection. And that's really not very uncommon for businesses that carry a lot of local products, but it's certainly an area I think I could improve on if I really tried. Finally, and most importantly, I'd need to be very committed to identifying new problems in the market. If you stop innovating and solving problems, your competitors will certainly do it for you. So that's something I would be extremely focused on now and into the future. All right, that's going to conclude my presentation. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to your feedback.